Love Live, an incredibly popular series with enough influence to transform New Mazu into a tourist hotspot. From a steadily increasing discography to even adverts on buses, the series produces a tremendous amount of media on a monthly basis. I could spend days digging up bits and pieces of information and only scratch the surface of the absolute behemoth that is Love Live. Remember this, it'll be important later. I want to talk first about some general overarching features of the series. As the title School Idol Project suggests, the series was first announced in Dengeki G's magazine as a project. The magazine would go on to publish information about the characters, run polls on who was most popular, and give updates and information based on who or what the fans liked. In fact, it was in this very magazine that the name Muse was chosen. To reiterate, they let the fans choose what they liked best. Naturally, entities tend to have iconography, cultures, and/or some defining trait they come to be known for or create for themselves. Poland has their famed cavalry, the Winged Hussars. Pink Floyd has the Prism from Darkside. And I, of course, have a complete disregard for an upload schedule. For Love Live, fan involvement is a cornerstone of its very operation. Anything from subgroup names to international poster girls was pretty much on the table to be done via polling. In fact, Niji originally was not going to have an anime, but because of fan requests, it's getting 2 seasons. Part of Love Live's design is actually partially designed by the fans themselves. I believe it's this reason that the series took off as much as it did, because fans could be involved and engaged with the series directly at their leisure. Part of what makes the series so accessible, contrary to what I claimed in this video I made in the past, that's a topic for another video, is the music and art style. The typical look isn't anything astounding, and that's no doubt intentional. A stylized show can be gorgeous, but unfortunately, it can turn away viewers who find it unappealing. These are idols, and idols by nature aim to be accessible and capture as many hearts as possible. Why else do you think these simple designs get used all the time in mainstream seasonal anime? But how do you avoid changing a simple design while also making some part of it stand out? The answer is hair. The first time I watched the original series, remembering all 9 names wasn't at all easy, and I specifically had a hard time remembering Ellie's name. Even still, I recognized who she was, because I could say, oh, she's the yellow one. Even the hairstyles they use become so recognizable that despite not knowing any of the seiyus, I can tell, oh, that's Mari's seiyu, by that alone. Even if you don't know the names of these characters, there's a variety of ways to immediately grasp who they are, so you don't have to remember all their names simultaneously. The more time you spend with the series, however, the more you get to experience what makes it truly great. With so many songs and live performances, a plethora of costumes and other forms of media are being constantly produced. These include, and are not limited to, multiple animated series, 2 movies, live performances, MVs, a manga, 2 active mobile games, art, 4 said mobile games, Nezoberries, polls, seiyu antics, scans, magazines, 4 groups not counting subgroups, not counting rival groups, radio dramas, cosplay, school idol diaries, collaborations. My god. My point is, the simple art style draws in all sorts, but the rest of the media produced goes beyond simplicity to truly make something of artistic value, and I love that. Something that exemplifies all these aspects is one of my favorite things this series has produced thus far, the Birthday Mvs. Not only are the artists behind them actually outsourced, but each has their own art style and music genre that fits each character perfectly. Ruby has this surreal, energetic cuteness to pair the cute song Cotton Candy AAO. Daya has this more traditional style with flowers and gorgeous art for perfect sekai. And Hanamaru actually has her MV rendered in an unusual ratio to make it look like a page of a book, which is an artistic touch that's just mwah. I've never looked forward to something more from Love Live than those MVs. There's one last thing I want to touch on before I finish this video. Remember how I told you about Love Live being massive and reviving New Mazu into a tourist hotspot? It has to do with one of the most interesting aspects about Love Live. Every single location in Love Live is meticulously recreated from real places in Japan. Love Live Sunshine takes place in New Mazu, and I'll use it as an example because of how shockingly accurate it is. Remember that one aquarium in the Aquarium MV, and in Dai's episode, Izumito Sea Paradise? That's a real place. You probably already knew about the collaboration if you've played School Idol Festival, because they did one with Izumito for a set of cards too. fans from all over the world make their pilgrimage to places like Akihabara and Uchira to see these famous locations for themselves. A few locations are actually repurposed within the canon of the anime, such as Kanan's house. Apparently, this is actually a part of the Awashima Marine Park, and it's not a dive shop at all, but because of the anime, they actually put up diving equipment along with a swimsuit that is actually the exact same as the swimsuit that Kanan wears. The building is called Frog House, because they have frogs inside and... oh my god! It all makes sense! Naturally, the area took full advantage of the tourism and has plastered the Aqua crew everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere! To give you an example of how insane this is, allow me to make a comparison to something much different. The cryptid known as Mothman, whose story was spread across the entire United States, was first sighted in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and the town now has a museum to commemorate it. Still, despite its fame across the entirety of the states, the most the Mothman attracts is an annual festival. New Mazu, on the other hand, has been so influenced by Love Live that even the mayor of New Mazu encouraged a tourist promotion and will dedicate an estimated 1.3 million yen to the campaign. Editor's note, it's actually not 1.3 million yen, it's 136. My fucking god. Having real-life locations for your show not only adds an extra layer of production value by going through the effort of accurate portrayal, but it makes trips to these locations all the more meaningful. Hell, I want to make the pilgrimage someday. This is far from the most important aspect of Love Live's design, but to me, it's one of the most fascinating because a simple design choice led to perhaps one of the best Love Live related experiences a fan can have. Love Live is about fan involvement after all, right? On that note, this video's run on long enough. I put a link in the description to a person named Ginger Gaiden who took the new Mazu footage I used for this video, so please check their channel out. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new, and thank you for watching. Have a good one.